Hello everyone, welcome back to another Late War Battle Report. Today's a special game for me today because I wrote my 8-year-old nephew into it. He'll be playing as the British defending in Rearguard. Thought this would be the best defensive mission for him since he wants to defend because all his tanks start the game, and since the British only have Churchills, I didn't think it fair to have some of the slowest tanks in the game trying to help him secure objectives. He's quite excited. Obviously the promise is he plays this and then Minecraft after, but at least I've managed to pull him away from the PlayStation for a few hours. So let's have a look at my army first. I am using two formations for the Germans. First formation is an armoured panzergrenadier company using the Greyhound command card. I have a HQ with no upgrades, and then I have two platoons. Each platoon has Panzerfausts, and as you can see, 4 half-tracks with them, with one of them having the anti-tank gun. In this formation as well is 4 mortar half-tracks and 4 7.5cm gun half-tracks. Second formation is a Panzer IV company, just regular Panzer IVs here, no command card with these. So HQ of 2, a platoon of 5, a platoon of 4, and 4 of the 10-5 anti-tank, anti-aircraft guns, and there's 4 of these. And one support option today, 3 Wesps. This is my nephew Sean's army. He really likes Churchills, so I think this is why he wanted to go as the British again. I did play him a while ago, mid-war, so he has played before, so this isn't his first game. So his first formation out of the two is a Churchill Armoured Squadron. This is pretty much the same army the British use all the time until the British D-Day book comes out. So we have 2 Churchills for the HQ, and then we have 3 platoon tank teams of Churchills, and then we have 2 platoons of Shermans, and each platoon has a Firefly as well. So those Panzer IVs are not going to last long against them. Second formation is a motor company. So we have the HQ and then 2 platoons, and as you know, if you play British, each platoon has a Piat and a 2-inch mortar, and then there's just 4 rifle Bren gun teams. In this formation as well is 3 universal carriers, as that is compulsory for this formation. In support we have 4 25-pounders and 4 M10 17-pounders, which Sean, I've told him to put in ambush, which is not going to be very good for my Panzer IVs. Rounding this list off to make it 109 points, there's going to be the lucky command card, so Sean can re-roll 1 dice for the game, and that is it. So let's have a look at deployment. Right, for deployment, Sean, with some help from me, has covered as many of his objectives with his armour and infantry as he can. So we've got Shermans in the woods, more Shermans in the woods, universal carriers, he wanted to push up as far as possible. The HQ tanks are hidden behind the houses with another platoon on the objective. We have an infantry platoon on this nearby hill. There's another infantry platoon in this building. The formation commander is in this field next to the artillery, and we have 3 Churchills by here, and the M10s are in ambush. For me, I've split my army onto the sides of the river, so I got the Wesps hidden behind this lump of rock here. I've got a dismounted platoon of Panzer Grenadiers and the formation commander by here, with some of the 10-4 anti-tank guns. I also have 4 Panzer IVs on this flank as well. On the right flank, I have my mortar half-tracks, the platoon of 5 Panzer IVs with the formation commander, mounted up armoured Panzer Grenadier platoon, and the 7.5cm guns. So, as you can see, my axis of attack is not going to the town where Sean has kindly put most of his minefields, and obviously I have a waiting platoon here, and I don't really know where the M10s are going to turn up from. Most likely they're going to come over here, and that's why I've got the 7.5cm guns, because That's pretty much the only thing they're going to be able to take out. So I'm going to help my nephew as much as I can, but I'm quite competitive, so I'm not going to let him win easily. So German turn 1. German movement. I've moved my anti-aircraft guns to the left flank to try and take out the universal carriers. My infantry platoon here has moved into the church with the formation commander in the tower. I did a follow me order that failed, but I had a reroll because of the formation commander, because it's a motivation test. These guys have dashed over to here, tried to do a follow me, I failed. Everything over here shifted to the right. I did a cross here with the Panzer IVs, and as you can see, 2 have decided not to do it. Formation commanders moved up here, which was a good thing because I failed a follow me with these half tracks. So they got a reroll and passed, and for some reason I can't pass follow me's because these ones also failed. So now into German shooting. It's basically going to be smoke really, just to stop these guys doing some damage to me. So German shooting. German shooting, I tried a few sporadic shots at the universal carriers. I didn't hit anything, but the thing I wanted to happen did happen, and that was I got a smoke bombardment. Lucky we do roll 3 dice for a smoke bombardment because the first 2 failed. So I've got some cover for my advancing armoured spearhead by here. So now we're going into British turn 2, no morale checks for them, so it'll be straight into British movement. The British did actually have something to do in their startup step, and that was the ambush. Right by there. That's not looking good for me. There wasn't really any other movement for the British. Sean's quite happy where all his stuff is, and there's also a film he's interested in on the TV now, so his attention is 50-50. And now he has also put the universal carriers into cover. So now we're going into British shooting. British shooting, Sean did hit stuff with the universal carriers and the Churchill on the anti-aircraft guns, but I passed my saves with them. Over here, the M10s have killed the formation commander for the Panzer IVs. I could not transfer him to the other unit, so he's gone, and he killed 1 half track. So 1 guy is out and pinned, and the other half track behind is also bailed out. So now we're going into German startup step. German startup step, I failed to get the half track unbailed, so I sent them to the rear as the grenadiers themselves were unpinned, so I can start pushing them towards the M10 to get rid of them. So now we're going into German movement. German movement, I've blitz moved these forward outside of the minefield, just to take out the universal carriers. The Panzer IVs have flanked to this side here. The grenadiers in this building have remained still. Mortar half tracks remain still. These 2 guys have failed to cross the hedge. The rest of the platoon now has gone hull down on the hill. The 7.5 centimeter armoured half tracks have moved here to get some concealed shots on the M10s, and these guys have moved up as far as they can. I'll have to check if they're in assault range. I doubt it, but now we're going into German shooting. In my shooting step, I only managed to bail a universal carrier with the 10-4s firing at it, and a couple of Panzer IVs over here. I tried to blitz these again back into cover, but I failed. Over here, I ranged in both my artillery units where the 25 pounders were, and I killed 3 of them, so that's quite good for me over here. The Panzer IVs that did manage to get on the hill bailed out 2 M10s, and a 7.5 centimeter half track also bailed out another, and I did check, only this front guy here is within 4, and so I'll be able to get another guy on. So hopefully I can withstand this covering fire from this guy, and I might be able to get rid of these M10s this turn if I'm lucky. So, assault phase. This is the result of the assault. Since 3 of them were already bailed out, this guy only hit one of the guys in contact, and I passed my save. I failed to hit twice in assault, but the M10s needed 6 to counterattack, which they failed. This M10 they needed to pass a cross check to get out of the woods, which he also failed. So because none of them could get outside of 8 inches, all of them are now destroyed. So revenge is bittersweet after taking out my formation commander. So hopefully I can push more onto this objective, which is a bit more open since the 25 pounders are now gone. But there are Churchills and a formation commander and a platoon of infantry over here and here. So we are now into British turn 2 for their startup step. In the startup step, the Universal Carrier didn't get back in. This 25 pounder did not unpin, even with a reroll, but it did pass this last stand test. And then Sean withdrew the Universal Carriers because of strategic withdrawal. So now we're into British movement. I have advised him to get some tanks over to this side and maybe move some more infantry over to here. Okay, so British movement. Okay, so in...
I'll do it on my last turn.
Okay, do you wanna say anything now?
Nah, on my last turn I'll say.
On your last turn you'll say something. Okay, right, so Sean didn't want to summarise his movement, so I'll do it. So he moved his Churchills out of the cover here to get some more shots on the Panzer IVs. He's moved the infantry off the hill to cover this objective, and he did a cross here with the Sherman platoon to get out to the woods, but one of them rolled a 1 and is stuck here. Sean is rolling a lot of 1s this game. So now we're going into British shooting. British shooting, these 3 Churchills managed to kill a Panzer IV and bail out another one. On the right flank, a lot of stuff missed. A Firefly, however, did take out one of the anti-aircraft guns. So now we're into German turn 3, startup step. German movement. I've moved my infantry platoon out of the church to try and occupy this building next turn. My Panzer IVs have moved into position to fire some flanking shots on these Shermans here. This guy failed a cross check, but hopefully I might be able to get a sneaky shot on these Churchills if I'm in range. The Panzer IVs have joined in with their comrades that were stuck in the hedges. My Grenadier platoon is now in the woods, and my half tracks over here and are just about to do a follow me to try and get a little bit further forward and into cover. And that is it for German movement. The Panzer IVs got 2 hits on the Shermans here. I managed to kill the Firefly, that is the one I wanted, and I bailed the other one. As you can see, you can just see them through the gap here. It turns out that Panzer IV was in range of the Churchills, but I missed. Over here, I only ranged in with the 8cm mortars and they missed everything. The Wasps failed to range in. Over here, the Panzer IVs killed 1 Churchill. And the Panzerfaust also failed to hit. British startup step, this Sherman has got back in, and we have their 25 pounder unpinning and passing this rally test. So British movement. The British Churchills have moved around the building to hose down these infantry that are in the open. This Sherman got out to the woods and has moved over here, and this guy's got outside of the house. This guy is still gonna take some fire from the Panzer IVs. Infantry have moved over again into the fields. These Churchills have remained stationary. So now we're going into British shooting. We just remembered to withdraw a unit. The 25 pounder has left the game. So British shooting. British shooting, these Churchills managed to take out one of the Grenadier teams. Over here nothing happened. The Panzer IVs managed to bounce most of the shots coming their way, so now we're into German turn 4. German movement, the Grenadiers have moved into this building here, so I can get a side shot with my Panzerfaust. Maybe not. Over here, my Grenadiers have moved further into the woods, and my 7.5cm half tracks have moved around as well. My Panzer IVs are happy up here to take some shots on the churches below. And that's it for my move-in. So now shooting step. German shooting, I've taken out another Churchill. My artillery successfully ranged in here and I've killed one of the motor platoon teams. Panzer IVs over here failed to hit anything, and the Churchills survived a shot from a Panzerfaust. So I'm going to try an assault on the Churchills and hopefully push them off this objective. So, German assault step. German assault, I failed to hit the Churchill with my Panzerfaust since that's the only thing that can hurt it. The Churchill then counter-attacked, didn't kill anyone, but then I failed my motivation to counter-attack, so I've had to pull outside of the Churchill, and the Churchill's consolidated into the field. So we're now into British turn 4. British startup step, they have failed to unpin these infantry here. This Churchill has passed his last stand test, and my nephew has withdrawn the Churchills that were on this objective. There's still plenty of tanks over here though, but I am starting to close in with my pincer attack with the Grenadiers in this building. In the movement step, the Shermans moved from here to here, and the infantry here is dug in since they can't move any closer towards me anyway. And that was it for British movement, and now we're going to British shooting. British shooting, they have got a few hits on the Grenadiers in the building, but no kills. No hits here with the Shermans onto the Panzer IVs on the hill, and this Churchill has managed to bail a half track. So now we're going into German turn 5. German startup step, this half track has failed to get back in. Now into German movement. German movement, I have moved the Panzer IVs over to here to take on the Churchills. Everything else has remained stationary. Over this flank, the half tracks that are active have moved to get flanking shots on the Churchill, although that turret will complicate things. The Grenadiers have moved up again, and the Panzer IVs are remain stationary on the hill. So, German shooting. German shooting, these 4 Panzer IVs have managed to bail one Churchill. The Panzerfaust bailed the other one. Over here, my artillery has taken out one of the HQ teams, so both teams here are now pinned. With fire from the 7.5cm half tracks, the infantry and the Panzer IVs on the hill, I have bailed this Churchill. So this is probably the time to strike with my infantry on these bailed out Churchills, since I can't hurt them anyway. So let's go into another assault phase. Both assaults went really well. I did actually kill the Churchill in combat for once. I hit it, Sean failed his armour save, I failed my firepower, but then Sean failed the remount, so that Churchill's dead. He would have died anyway because he wouldn't have been able to withdraw. And over here, the HQ Churchills lost as well. I did kill one in combat, and obviously then I won the combat and the other one couldn't withdraw, so that one's dead as well, and they've consolidated back into the building. And over here, the assaulting teams consolidated onto the objective. So now we're going into British turn 5, a lot of stuff to do. British startup step, both units have unpinned, so thanks from the formation commander. So the infantry with the formation commander have moved to the field here, with support from the 2 Shermans. Because Sean only has 5 units left, he didn't have to withdraw a unit. So now we're going into British shooting to try and get my Grenadiers off with some good old fashioned machine guns or with an assault. As you can see, quite a few bases removed by British firepower. Still room for the assault, but the Shermans are out of the assault, they're too far away. Over here in the building, a few hits, but no kills. So now we're going into the assault phase. The assault, the British didn't actually kill any units, but I failed the counterattack, so the Germans had to push outside of 8. Still on the objective, but there's a British infantry platoon there now, and Shermans and the formation commander, so now into German turn 6. German movement. I have unpinned the grenadiers, and this half track remains bailed out, so I've pushed them forward. These are there also. Panzer IVs are just going to shoot down at the Shermans here. These Panzer IVs have moved out, and they're going to take out the other Shermans on this side. So, German shooting. I've bailed out a Sherman and killed another, and I've taken out 2 bases of British infantry, so I might try another assault. Over here, the Panzer IVs didn't achieve anything. They did hit, but the Firefly bounced the shot. So now we're going to try another assault. The assault failed. Went back and forth a few times. All that's left is the unit leader of the motor platoon and the Piat. The formation commander's dead, and all but one of the grenadier teams is alive. So that's not good. And basically now we're going into British turn 6. British startup step didn't go brilliantly. The tank here did not bail back in but passed his last stand. The unit here failed to unpin and then failed their last stand test, so they're gone, meaning the motor company is also gone because those guys were the last unit left, so they've run away. So all that's left for the British is the Sherman here and the 3 Shermans in the woods. But I've got a last stand to do with my grenadier platoon, so it's about these doing as much damage as possible. So British movement, they probably won't move, and now we're going into British shooting. British shooting did very well. These Shermans here have just killed 3 Panzer IVs and bailed another one, so now we're going into German turn 7. The Panzer IV got back in but then failed his last stand, so he's run away. The Grenadiers over here failed to unpin but passed the last stand, even though it was more difficult because of their 116th Panzer Division. So this will be the last turn, so he is within 4 inches and there's nothing going to stop him not ending his turn on this. So I might just try and kill this platoon here with my Panzer IVs, which will also end the game as well. So German shoot. So that's the shooting phase done, and that is game. That's the formation's gone, and the Germans will also hold the objective. So that's the game, and because I've lost so many units, it is just a major victory for me. So I hope you enjoyed.